In today's video, what we will be doing is performing a live analysis in the market from a swing trading perspective. So we will be taking a pair, analyzing it both from a technical and order flow perspective. And by the end of the video, you will know exactly which is the best zone to be looking for a potential trading opportunity. And as usual, I will try to keep the analysis as educational as possible so that you will learn exactly the key concepts that you have to incorporate in your trading plan when you are developing it. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm a top author on the TRADINGVIEW platform and I share free education and analysis on all my platforms every single day. So I suggest you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on new content, and I will see you in the video. What I will be sharing in today's video is the complete update on the situation that currently we have on AUD CAD, so that you will understand exactly what kind of opportunity we can be looking for on this pair to capitalize on the next move on it. In fact, we have already spoken about AUD CAD a couple of videos ago, both on YouTube and also on TradingView, and the market has reacted to our analysis perfectly, providing a beautiful setup, as you will see. And in this video, what I will be doing is obviously giving you an update on that analysis, and I will be sharing where is the next opportunity for AUD CAD. And as usual, I will keep the analysis very educational so you will understand exactly which are the key things that you have to check when you are analyzing the market. So first, we will check the monthly, weekly, and daily from a technical perspective. Then we will check the order flow to see what the biggest banks and institutions are doing on the AUD on the CAD. And then we will see what we have from a 4-hour perspective, which is the entry time frame. So let's start from the directional aspect of AUD CAD. Now, first of all, on the monthly time frame, what we can see on the monthly, we can clearly see that the market has created this W formation. Now, when you see the market do something like this, so basically move to the downside, retracement, lower low, and higher high. If you see the market do something like this, what you expect is for the market to actually make a move to the downside. Why? Because you want to see the market go and test this previous resistance, now turned support. And that is basically the completion of the W formation. Just a quick reminder, make sure you comment below and you let me know which pairs or topics you would like me to cover or analyze in the next video. So here on the monthly time frame, what we actually have is the exact same pattern: down, and up. And we want to see the market give us this move to the downside to test the completion zone of the pattern. Now, if we look at what kind of a structure we actually have around the completion, we can see by extending this zone to the left that this is not only the previous resistance, now turn support here, but is also actually a historical structure level for AUD CAD, which was acting as very strong support here, preceding all this move to the upside, again acting as support here, preceding this move to the upside, again acting as support here, preceding this move to the upside, then it broke to the downside, turned resistance, and now that the market is approaching this zone from the upside, it is turned again support. And what we can also notice from the monthly time frame is that, as usual, if you want informations on a retracement in the market, where are you supposed to be taking your Fibonacci? You're supposed to be taking your Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse. And by taking your Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse, what you can notice that the Fibonacci level that is aligning the best with the structure is exactly this previous resistance, now turn support, in alignment with the 0.382, which, as we just said, is the Fibonacci level that is aligning the best with structure, meaning that we have a confluence of support inside of this area given by the 0.382 with the previous resistance, now turn support, which is also the completion zone of the W formation. So definitely we have our downside target from the monthly at this area. Going down on the weekly, what do we have? Now, on the weekly time frame, situation is pretty simple. We have a market that has created a nice impulse and is clearly overextended to the upside, and we expect the market to give us a move to the downside to go and test this previous weekly resistance, which is now turned support at this area. Going down on the daily, what do we have? Now, on the daily time frame, you probably remember the previous analysis on AUD CAD. because on the daily, the market did exactly what we wanted AUD CAD to do. I will link the previous analysis in description, both the analysis that I made on TradingView and the analysis that I made here on YouTube. Actually, I suggest you go and check out the analysis on YouTube. Why? Because I also explain a very important concept when it comes to head and shoulders in that video. So actually I will link only the one on YouTube and you will find it in the description of this video. Go and check it out for more reference and education. And what did we say in this previous analysis? We said after the market has created this impulse, we want to see the retracement, and after that we want to see the continuation to the downside for the creation of this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside and completion of this head and shoulders. Now, what the head and shoulders actually is exactly what I explained in that video, so go and check it out. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, we've had a nice entry with students, and currently with students, we are running a very nice trade to the downside for a very good 1 to 3 risk to reward, which the market is very near to hitting. So AUD CAD running quite smoothly with this trade to the downside. And where is the next opportunity for AUD CAD? Well, that is exactly what I want to explain in this video. But first, before I show you where is the next opportunity for AUD CAD, let's go and see what we have from in AUD and a CAD perspective if we check the COT data, so the commitment of traders, which is what the biggest banks and institutions are currently doing on the CAD, on the AUD and on the CAD. Let's first check the AUD. Now on AUD, what we can see? We can see that clearly if we check the net positions, we went from 4.2k net positions all the way down to minus 1k net positions, meaning that institutions went from having more longs than shorts on the CAD with 45k longs and 41k shorts, all the way down to having more shorts than longs. So the completely opposite situation, from having more longs than shorts to having more shorts than longs, with 46k shorts and 45k longs with minus 1k net positions. And the short exposure is currently 38% and long exposure 37%. So it's no surprise that AUD CAD has been making the move to the downside. And if we go and see what is going on from a CAD perspective, we can see that even though net positions decreased with the last report to minus 23k, actually institutions did not add any shorts. What they actually did is simply closing these long positions. So AUD CAD is moving to the downside, and currently it has broken another structure level, which is this daily structure here. In fact, we had previous daily resistance here that broke to the upside and was turned support here, which was turned again support here, and all this previous support is now turned resistance at this area. Now, what do we expect? On the weekly time frame, as we have already seen, we have this structure here, this previous resistance, which is now turned support at this area, which is also our target to the downside for the trade that we have. Now, when the market will hit this area, we have good probabilities that the market will start a retracement away from the zone. And that is exactly what we need for the next opportunity. Why? Because if the market will give us, after possibly continuing to the downside, but anyway, if the market will give us a retracement to this structure, then what we will have, all this previous support will be turned resistance inside of this area. And if you remember from the monthly, we have a downside target which is way lower than this. So we want to see in general, in the long term, the market continue to the downside. But if the market will give us a retracement to a resistance area on the daily, that is the best zone to be looking for a potential opportunity, because at that point, we have resistance in a bearish market. So what we will be doing with students if the market will retrace back inside of this area. If the market will retrace back inside of this area with students, we will be monitoring price action on the 4-hour time frame. Why the 4 hours? Because the monthly, the weekly, and the daily combined with the COT data that shows you what the biggest banks and institutions are doing will give you the direction of the market. But when it comes to entry, the best time frame for entry is the 4 hours, because it gives you the possibility to position yourself with a good risk to reward, minimum 1 to 3. We don't take a trade with students unless we have a minimum 1 to 3 risk to reward. Why do we do that? Because if you have a 1 to 3 risk to reward, you will always be profitable in the long term, because even if you have a terrible losing streak and you only win 3 trades out of 10, which is like terrible, you are still making money because 3 times 3 equals 9 minus E2 equals 7. So you're still making money even if you are actually losing. So basically that is the point of having a minimum 1, 2, 3 risk to reward and taking entries on lower timeframes. So what we will be doing with students? We will be monitoring price action on the 4-hour time frame inside of this area, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the move to the downside and creation of this impulse, correction and impulse pattern to the downside and creation of this lower low. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and comment below. It really does support the creation of more free education analysis for all of you. Also, make sure you go and check out the mentorship program. You find it linked in description. It's a very complete program. You first learn all the rules of my rule-based strategies, and then you trade them live with me each and every day. In fact, you get a new daily market breakdown every day showing you exactly how to apply the strategies with entry, stop, and take profit, as well as having me personally answering every question that you have every single day, including the weekends. So it's a very complete program. I really suggest that you go and check it out. You'll find it linked in description, and I will see you in.